All right, let's jump right in to this deep dive.
Sounds good.
Into Kun Wardana Abyoto's plan for Jakarta.
Yeah.
This guy he's like a total visionary,
Absolute.
driven by like a deep love for his country.
Mhm.
Wants to transform Jakarta, one of the world's biggest mega cities, right? Into a beacon of sustainability, a leader in the fight against climate change.
Huge undertaking.
Huge undertaking. But what's really fascinating is how he plans to do this.
Yeah.
It's not just like planting trees and driving electric cars. Abyoto was like weaving together this cutting edge technology, right?
Yeah.
Economic incentives like carbon trading and some seriously outside the box thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're talking free high-speed internet for every household.
I know, it's crazy.
Buildings that look like they're straight out of like a sci-fi movie with vertical forest built right in.
It's amazing.
And even using AI to tackle those infamous Jakarta traffic jams.
Wow.
So buckle up. We're about to unpack Abyoto's plan, explore its potential impact,
Right.
and see if Jakarta could become a model for cities around the world.
Yeah, I'm really excited to dive into this.
Yeah, me too.
I think what's really striking about Abyoto's approach is that he understands the urgency of the situation, right?
Yeah.
Jakarta's facing some serious environmental challenges.
For sure.
And air pollution is at the top of that list.
Absolutely. The sources that we have paint a pretty stark picture.
Yeah.
Vehicle emissions, industrial activity, even just the sheer volume of waste.
It's all contributing to it.
It's all contributing to a problem that affects every single resident.
Yeah, and Abyoto gets that. He gets that pollution isn't just like this abstract concept.
Right.
It's the invisible enemy affecting your daily life.
Right.
From that morning commute
Exactly.
to the air your kids breathe at the playground,
Yeah.
So his solution,
Yeah.
this multi-pronged attack that weaves together technology, economic tools, and urban planning.
So it's like a whole,
It's a system. It's an ecosystem.
Okay, an ecosystem. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's dive into the specifics. One of the things that really jumped out at me
Yeah.
was this whole idea of carbon trading.
That's a big one.
It sounds kind of complicated. Can you break it down for us?
Sure.
Like in simple terms?
Yeah. So imagine a system where companies and governments are players in this giant game.
Okay.
Right? And the goal is to reduce harmful emissions.
Got it.
Okay. Each player gets a set number of carbon credits, which represent their allowed emissions, right?
Okay.
Now, here's the twist.
Yeah.
Those who manage to lower their emissions below their limit can actually sell their extra credits.
Interesting.
To those who are struggling to beat their targets.
So it's like a financial incentive to go green?
Exactly, yeah.
That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
But how does this tie into Jakarta specifically?
Well, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
Abyoto is betting that Jakarta can become like a major player in the carbon trading market.
Okay.
By strategically reducing emissions, right?
Yeah.
The city could generate significant revenue by selling its surplus carbon credits.
So they're not just like cleaning up the environment. They're actually creating a potential revenue stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's smart.
That's smart. But let's be honest, getting around Jakarta isn't exactly known for being a breeze.
That's true.
What's Abyoto's plan for tackling the city's notorious traffic?
Well, he's looking at a combination of solutions.
Okay.
And one that might surprise you is his plan to provide free, high-speed internet.
Free internet.
100 minis.
Wow.
To every single household in Jakarta.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
I know.
What's the thinking there?
Well, Abyoto is betting on a future where you could be working from home.
Okay.
Your child could be taking online courses.
Your parents could even consult with their doctor remotely.
Oh, wow.
All without ever having to step foot in a car.
Interesting.
Right, so by reducing the need for physical commutes,
Gotcha.
he's aiming to put a serious dent in traffic congestion.
Right.
And vehicle emissions.
Okay.
And you know what?
Yeah.
It's not as radical as it sounds.
Really?
South Korea actually implemented a similar program.
Oh, wow.
And they saw a huge jump in productivity.
Interesting.
And a noticeable drop in urban traffic.
So it's been proven to work in other places?
It has.
Okay, that's a pretty compelling argument.
Yeah.
And speaking of reducing emissions, Abyoto is also betting big on electric vehicles, right?
Yeah.
They seem to be gaining traction all over the world.
They are, absolutely.
What's his thinking there?
Well, Jakarta's no exception. Abyoto's strategy here is twofold.
Okay.
First, He wants to make electric vehicles more appealing to everyday people.
Right.
Through tax breaks and incentives.
Makes sense.
Right. Second, he plans to build out a comprehensive charging infrastructure across the city.
Yeah.
So imagine easily plugging in your EV while you're at work or grabbing groceries.
Yeah.
Think of what Norway has accomplished.
Oh, yeah.
Over 50% of new car sales there are now electric vehicles.
That's incredible.
Abyoto is hoping to replicate that kind of impact in Jakarta.
Okay, so using those other countries as models.
Exactly.
That have already been successful.
Yeah, why reinvent the wheel, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
From what I've read, it seems like he's also taking inspiration from some pretty innovative urban design concepts.
Yeah.
Like those vertical forests we mentioned earlier.
Oh, yeah, those are so cool.
Yeah, so what are those? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so you're talking about buildings that are essentially integrated with green spaces.
Okay.
So rooftop gardens, walls covered in plants.
Right.
Even like entire forests.
Wow.
Built into the structure itself.
That's crazy.
That's not just about aesthetics, right? Right. These green spaces actually act as natural air purifiers.
That's amazing.
Absorbing pollutants.
Wow.
And helping to improve the overall air quality of the city.
So it's like bringing a bit of nature back into the urban jungle.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then there's the whole idea of urban farming, which I think is so cool.
That's a great one.
Like imagine growing your own vegetables and herbs right in your apartment building.
Yeah.
Or in a shared community garden.
That would be awesome.
That'd be so cool.
So Abyoto's hoping to see rooftops and balconies across Jakarta.
Right.
Transformed into like mini farms.
That's cool.
It's a brilliant way to improve food security.
Yeah.
Reduce the city's carbon footprint by cutting down on transportation needs.
Right.
And just create a stronger sense of community.
Absolutely.
And we've seen this work beautifully in places like Milan.
Oh, yeah.
Bosco Vertical.
That's amazing.
These stunning residential towers covered in trees and plants.
Right.
And in Havana, where community-driven urban farms
have
drastically improved access to fresh local food.
It sounds like Abyoto is really thinking about how all these different pieces fit together.
Yeah.
But Jakarta is a massive city.
It is.
Can he realistically expect to overhaul the entire transportation system?
That's a good question.
I mean, how's he going to do that?
Well, he's focusing on investing in and expanding Jakarta's mass transit systems.
Okay.
So think the MRT, LRT, and BRT.
Okay.
Which are Jakarta's metro, light rail, and bus rapid transit.
Gotcha.
Right? Picture yourself zipping past traffic jams on these modern, efficient lines.
Yeah.
All thanks to Abyoto's plan.
That would be great.
Right. The goal is to make it so convenient and affordable to use public transportation.
Right.
That people will willingly choose to leave their cars at home.
That makes sense.
Fewer cars on the road means less congestion, cleaner air.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It is.
But let's be real. These kinds of infrastructure projects are expensive.
Yeah, they are.
How's Abyoto planning to pay for all of this?
Well, remember those carbon credits we talked about earlier?
Oh, yeah.
Well, projects that contribute to reducing transportation-related emissions, like improving public transit, could actually generate additional revenue.
Oh, wow.
Through carbon trading.
So it kind of pays for itself?
Exactly. It's a brilliant way to create a self-sustaining cycle.
That's awesome.
You reduce emissions to earn credits.
Right.
Then use those credits to fund further improvements to the transportation system.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
So it's all starting to come together now.
It is.
He's tackling transportation, internet access, green spaces. What else is on Abyoto's agenda?
Well, any plan to revitalize a city would be incomplete without addressing the elephant in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Waste management.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
From what I've seen, waste management is a major issue in a lot of big cities.
Oh, huge.
Including Jakarta.
It's a global problem.
It is.
Yeah.
So what's he going to do about it?
Well, Abyoto wants to revolutionize the way Jakarta handles waste.
Okay.
Bringing in the latest technology to convert trash into treasure.
Ooh, I like that.
Literally.
Okay.
Imagine advanced recycling systems that can turn waste into energy.
Oh, wow.
And compost.
Really?
Drastically reducing the amount of garbage that ends up in landfills.
Right.
And the harmful methane emissions that they produce.
Yeah, that's a huge problem.
It is.
So instead of just dumping waste, they could turn it into valuable resources.
Right.
That's amazing. Are there any real-world examples of this kind of high-tech waste management system in action?
Well, Sweden is leading the way here.
Okay.
They've managed to achieve an incredibly high recycling rate.
Oh, wow.
Very little of their waste actually ends up in landfills.
That's impressive.
It's a model that cities around the world, including Jakarta,
makes sense,
are looking to emulate.
So they're really looking at what works in other places.
Yeah, absolutely.
And trying to bring that to Jakarta. That's cool. Okay, we've seen kind of the highlights of Abyoto's plan for Jakarta. Yeah. It's ambitious.
Very.
It's innovative.
Definitely.
And it has the potential to really transform the city.
Absolutely.
But let's get real for a second.
Okay.
We're talking about a massive undertaking here.
Yeah.
What kind of roadblocks do you think Abyoto might encounter trying to make all of this a reality?
Well, Jakarta's a city with a long history.
Yeah.
And a complex existing infrastructure.
Right.
So implementing sweeping changes like transitioning to electric vehicles or overhauling the waste management system, it's going to require massive investment.
Yeah.
And a lot of coordination across different levels of government and the private sector.
So it's a lot of moving parts.
It's like trying to change the course of a giant ship, you know?
That's a good analogy.
It takes time, effort, a whole lot of careful maneuvering.
Yeah, it's not just about having a great plan on paper.
Right.
It's about navigating those realities on the ground.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget about the human element.
That's huge.
Change can be tough for people to embrace.
It can.
Even if it's ultimately for the better.
Yeah, people are creatures of habit. Right. And convincing them to change their behaviors.
Yeah.
Whether it's embracing remote work or switching to public transportation.
Right.
It can be a challenge.
It can be.
So Abyoto's going to have to be really good at communicating the benefits of his vision.
Right.
Addressing concerns and making people feel like they're part of the solution.
So they feel like they're part of this journey.
Exactly. Not just along for the ride.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Transparency and collaboration seem to be like key themes running through Abyoto's approach.
Oh, absolutely.
So how is he going to make that happen?
Well,
how is he going to...
And that extends to the financial side of things as well, right?
Okay.
Securing funding for these ambitious projects.
Yeah.
Whether it's through carbon trading, public-private partnerships.
Right. Or international investment is going to be crucial for his success.
You mentioned carbon trading earlier.
Yeah.
And it does sound like...
It does have a lot of potential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A promising way to generate revenue for green initiatives. But I have to ask, are there any potential downsides?
Yeah.
Or complexities to consider?
Yeah, that's a good question.
What if it backfires?
That's a question worth asking.
Yeah.
While carbon trading has a ton of potential, it's only as good as the system it operates within.
Right.
There needs to be a robust and transparent framework in place to prevent companies from finding loopholes or gaming the system.
You don't want them just buying credits to offset their emissions without actually making any real changes.
Right. You want them to make actual changes.
Yeah. You want them to
not just,
put in the effort.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not a silver bullet.
It's not, no.
But
it requires, careful regulation and oversight to make sure it's achieving its intended goals.
Yeah.
Then there's the whole global context to consider.
That's huge.
Even if Jakarta gets it right, it's ultimately part of a much larger picture.
Absolutely. Climate change is a global challenge.
Right.
That requires a coordinated global response.
It does.
So Jakarta's success in reducing its emissions will contribute to the overall effort, but it can't solve the problem single-handedly.
But imagine if it could, if Jakarta can pull this off.
Yeah.
If they can actually transform themselves into a green, sustainable megacity.
It would be amazing.
Could that have a ripple effect?
I think so.
Could other cities around the world look to Jakarta and say, hey, if they can do it, so can we?
Absolutely. There's absolutely that potential.
That's exciting.
If Jakarta can demonstrate that it's possible to prioritize both economic growth and environmental responsibility, it could inspire a whole wave of urban transformations around the world.
It'd be like a model city.
Yeah, model city, a blueprint. Yeah. Exactly.
That's exciting. It's like Jakarta could become a living, breathing case study.
Yeah.
Showing the world that a greener future is within reach.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've talked about the challenges.
Yeah.
We've talked about kind of the steps Abyoto needs to take. Yeah. Now the big question, what needs to happen for Abyoto's vision to move beyond the planning stage and become a reality?
Well, first and foremost, he needs to translate those big ideas into concrete action plans with clear timelines and measurable goals.
So turning those grand visions into actionable steps.
Exactly. So, for example, instead of trying to overhaul the entire transportation system overnight,
yeah, that's not realistic.
they could start with pilot programs in specific districts.
Oh, okay.
Testing out different strategies, collecting data to see what works and what doesn't.
It's like testing the waters before diving in head first.
Exactly.
Okay.
And throughout the process, they need to be constantly monitoring and evaluating the progress, making adjustments as needed, learning from their experiences.
So it's about being adaptable.
Yes.
Because things will inevitably come up.
Oh, for sure.
That they couldn't have anticipated.
Right.
And that's where public engagement comes in.
Absolutely.
So how does he get the public engaged in this?
Well, Abyoto needs to keep the citizens of Jakarta informed throughout the entire process.
Right.
He needs to listen to their feedback, address their concerns. And make sure everyone feels like they're part of the journey.
So it's not just about making decisions from the top down.
Exactly.
It's about fostering a sense of ownership and shared responsibility for the city's future.
Absolutely.
How does he do that?
Well, there's lots of ways to do that. Think about public forums, educational campaigns, even interactive platforms where citizens can provide input.
Oh, wow.
And share their ideas.
That's really cool.
It's about tapping into the collective wisdom and energy of the community to drive positive change.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It all sounds promising.
It does.
But let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Implementing a vision as big as Abyoto's is going to take time.
Absolutely.
And likely face some bumps along the way.
There will undoubtedly be unforeseen challenges, delays, maybe even some setbacks.
Yeah.
But the key is to view these challenges as opportunities to learn.
Okay.
Adapt and refine their approach.
So it's not about giving up when things get tough.
Right, exactly.
It's about learning from those.
It's about staying flexible.
Yeah, and staying the course, right?
Yeah, and never losing sight of the ultimate goal.
So it's about embracing the journey, knowing that it won't always be easy, but having faith that they're headed in the right direction.
And remembering that transformative change rarely happens overnight.
Yeah.
It requires patience, persistence, and a firm belief in the possibility of a better future.
We've talked about the challenges.
Yes.
We've talked about the steps Abyoto needs to take. Now, the big question.
Good shoot.
Do you truly believe that Abyoto's vision for Jakarta is achievable?
I mean,
is it realistic to think
that's the million-dollar question,
that this megacity can actually transform itself?
That's a huge question.
Into a green, sustainable model for the world?
There are never any guarantees when it comes to something this complex.
Right.
But I have to say, Abyoto's plan is well thought out.
Okay.
It's comprehensive. And most importantly, it's driven by a genuine desire to make a positive impact.
Okay.
I believe that with the right leadership, innovative thinking, and a whole lot of collective effort, Jakarta can absolutely achieve its ambitious goals.
I love your optimism.
Right.
But let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We still need to explore what those potential long-term impacts could be.
Right.
Both for Jakarta and for the rest of the world.
For sure.
And that's exactly what we're going to do in the final part of our deep dive.
Looking forward to it.
Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into Kun Wardana Abyoto's ambitious plan for Jakarta. We've explored the challenges, the potential solutions, and now it's time to talk about what success could actually look like.
Yeah, the exciting part.
What are the key ingredients that could make this vision a reality?
Well, I think it all starts at the top.
Yeah.
You know, Abyoto has demonstrated strong leadership, innovative thinking, and a genuine passion for this project.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's going to need to maintain that momentum, navigate those inevitable political complexities, and keep everyone from government agencies to private businesses to everyday citizens on board for the long haul.
Everyone working together?
It's like steering a ship through uncharted waters. You need a captain who can inspire confidence.
I like that analogy.
And keep everyone focused on the destination,
Okay.
even when the seas get rough.
Yeah, it's about having that unwavering belief in the mission.
Absolutely.
Right, that can make all the difference.
Yeah.
But it's not just about leadership from the top down.
Right.
We've talked about the importance of community engagement.
Yeah.
Making sure everyone in Jakarta feels like they have a stake in this transformation.
Exactly. Abyoto needs to make sure people understand the benefits of this plan, how it will impact their daily lives, and how their participation can actually contribute to its success.
So they feel like they're part of the solution.
Right. If people feel like they're part of the solution, they're much more likely to embrace the changes.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And let's not forget about the potential economic benefits that could come with this green transformation. Investing in sustainable infrastructure, renewable energy, and cutting-edge technologies that could attract new businesses.
For sure.
Create jobs, and really position Jakarta as a leader in the global green economy.
Imagine a city where sustainability isn't just an afterthought.
Right.
It's the driving force behind economic growth. That's the kind of future Abyoto is trying to create.
That's amazing.
And think about the potential impact on education and research.
Oh, yeah.
Jakarta could become like a hub for innovation in the field of sustainability, attracting top talent, fostering collaboration between universities, research institutions, and companies, all working towards a common goal.
So it's like creating a ripple effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Like positive change.
Spreading outward.
Not just within Jakarta, but throughout the entire region.
Absolutely.
And let's not overlook the potential benefits to public health.
Oh, that's huge.
Reducing air pollution, promoting healthy lifestyles through urban farming and green spaces, improving access to healthcare through things like telemedicine.
Absolutely.
These are all factors that could significantly improve the well-being of Jakarta's residents.
It's about creating a city that's not just sustainable, but also incredibly livable.
Right.
A place where people can thrive, both physically and mentally.
I like that a lot. And then there's the potential impact on Jakarta's global standing.
Oh, absolutely.
If they can pull this off, if they can actually transform this sprawling megacity into a model of urban sustainability.
Yeah.
Think about the message that sends to the rest of the world.
It would be a beacon of hope.
It would be huge.
Showing other cities that it is possible to balance economic growth with environmental responsibility. That a greener future isn't just a pipe dream. It's something we can achieve if we set our minds to it.
Okay, let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Okay.
What would all of this mean for the everyday lives of people living in Jakarta? What tangible changes could they expect to see?
So picture this.
Okay.
You wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
The air is clean and fresh.
Okay, I can.
You check the traffic app on your phone. And your commute is smooth and stress-free.
Okay.
Thanks to the efficient public transportation system.
Right.
You spend the day working remotely.
Okay.
Connected to the world through your free high-speed internet.
Oh, that's nice.
In the evening, you head up to your rooftop garden.
Right.
To harvest some fresh vegetables for dinner.
I'm loving this.
Grown right in your own building.
That's amazing.
That's just a glimpse of the kind of life Abyoto is envisioning for the people of Jakarta.
It sounds idyllic, almost utopian.
It does. It's a beautiful vision.
A city where technology and nature exist in harmony.
Yeah.
Where sustainability is woven into the fabric of everyday life.
Yeah. It's inspiring.
It really is inspiring. But it's not just about creating a beautiful and efficient city.
Right.
It's about fostering a sense of community, a sense of shared purpose, a belief that we can create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come.
Absolutely. Abyoto's plan is about so much more than just bricks and mortar, algorithms and infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's about creating a city with a soul.
I like that.
A city that people are proud to call home.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
And I have to say, I'm walking away with a renewed sense of optimism.
Me too.
Abyoto's plan for Jakarta is a bold and ambitious undertaking.
It is.
But it's also a testament to the power of human ingenuity. The belief that we can solve even the most complex challenges if we work together.
And that we have to, right?
I have to, yeah.
It's the only way forward.
It's the only way forward.
It's been a fascinating journey exploring the intricacies of this plan and the potential it holds.
It really has.
I think the key takeaway here is that change is possible.
I agree.
It might not be easy.
Yeah.
It might not happen overnight.
Right.
But if we're willing to challenge the status quo, embrace innovation, and work collaboratively towards a common goal,
Yeah.
We can create a future that's both sustainable and prosperous.
So to our listeners, I encourage you to learn more about Kun Wardana Abyoto.
He's an inspiring figure.
He is.
Yeah.
And his vision for Jakarta.
Absolutely.
It's a story that deserves to be told and shared.
It does.
Who knows, it might even inspire you to take action in your own community.
Yeah, I hope so.
To start thinking about how we can build a better, greener future for ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
And for generations to come.
Absolutely.
Remember, the future is not something that just happens to us.
It's true.
It's something we create together.
One step at a time.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Into the heart of Jakarta's transformation.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep believing in the power of ideas to change the world.